Water pressure, not electricity gravity. Our stickman climbs into a dusty attic with a folding tank, a coil of food-grade hose, and a smirk that says delta height greater than excuses. A tiny HUD floats. Head meter. Flow. L-min. Friction loss. Pascal per meter. Bubble alarm. Mission. Turn height into shower and irrigation without a pump. We'll trade stairs for pressure, elbows for losses, and patience for steady comfort. If you can pour a drink downhill, you can pipe a house. If you can count floors, you can estimate pressure. Rule 1. Head makes pressure. 1 meter of height gives roughly 0.098. Bars call it 0.12. Keep the math friendly. 10 meters. Almost a bar. A decent tap. Our hero sets the attic tank on a sturdy platform, checks joists, spreads the load with plywood, and straps it like a well-behaved refrigerator. The HUD ticks to 3.2 meters head. Good enough for a gentle shower and smug plants. Note the baseline. Pressure at the outlet equals elevation drop minus losses. Gravity writes the script. Losses eat pressure like snacks. Every meter of hose, each elbow, every rough barb steals a bit. He routes the main drop as straight and short as possible. Picks gentle, sweeps over tight 90s, and keeps the outlet lower than the tank's bottom. So the column never breaks character. The HUD shows friction loss per meter. Switching from skinny 3/8 of a 2 half a hose slashes it. Diameter is the quiet hero. Double the diameter, and your flow tantrums calm down. Attic tank time! He rinses, lines the lid with a fine mesh to snub dust, and adds an overflow line to the outdoors, not the ceiling. Inlet and outlet sit on opposite sides, so fresh water doesn't sprint out without mixing. A sight tube marks volume. He parks a ball valve at the tank and another near the fixtures because redundancy beats drama. The HUD stamps isolation. Ready? Maintenance later will feel civilized instead of slapstick. Air is the enemy of steady flow. Bubbles turn your column into a stuttering podcast. He primes lines before final connections, fills the hose, caps ends, routes it downhill, then pulps the lower cap so the siphon pulls water and air in the right order. Vertical risers get purge tees at the top, crack them, burp the air, close them when a solid stream appears. The HUD's bubble icon finally goes quiet. No foam, no flop, just clean hydraulic gossip. Shower math without tears. Desired flow. Say 6 to 7 liters per minute for a sensible, battery-friendly wash. Head available. Attic to shower head, maybe 3 meters. Lost budgets. Hose length, a filter, a mixer, and the head itself. He chooses a low-restriction head, uses half a hose for the drop, and keeps the final flex line short. A small, inline mesh catches grit, so the nozzle doesn't sulk. Open valve. Count liters into a bucket for 30 seconds. Multiply by 2. The HUD nods. 3.2 meters head, 6.4 L-min. Good. Mixing warm water without a heater. Sun preheat. And blend. He snakes a black coil on the roof as a solar preheater into a small tempering tank above the shower line. A thermostatic mixing valve protects from surprise scorch. If clouds flee, insulation wraps any warm segment like a burrito because wind is a thief. The HUD reports inlet at a polite lukewarm. Now, head doesn't waste itself reheating droplets midair. Comfort by arrangement, not brute force. Irrigation wants flow, not froth. He runs a separate branch to the garden with a header and short laterals, all downhill. Emitters like predictability. He picks pressure-compensating drippers rated for low head, or just goes with pinhole spaghetti for a scrappy mode. A small sediment jar before the manifold settles grit. The HUD paints even arrows along the bed. Plants prefer equity to surprise. Timing is gravity's friend water, early or late. Dodge noon, wind, angles matter. Sagging hose makes accidental sumps where air camps out. He clips lines to keep a continuous fall. Where lines must rise, he adds top bleeders. Elbows get swapped for long sweeps. Sharp T's for wise. He keeps barb insertions fully seated and clamps snug but not gorilla so. The inner bore isn't pinched. The HUD shows velocity down and laminarish vibes up. Flow stops sounding like someone gargling marbles. Siphons are the secret handshake. For rooftop rain, barrels feeding ground-level beds, he primes a clear hose, lays it over the rim, and drops both in-source high, outlet low. Once started, the only way is down, unless air sneaks in. He zip ties a short copper or steel weight at the intake to keep it submerged and away from floating leaves. A tiny check valve on the outlet end keeps prime between sessions. HUD says primed. Physics says, okay, fine, I'll work. Filters are flow fees, so size them kindly. He picks a chunky cartridge or a mesh screen with lots of area upstream of everything delicate. Shower branch gets a finer screen. Garden branch gets a washable mesh. Filters go vertical with drains, so backflush doesn't redecorate the attic. He writes dates with a marker because memory is not a plumbing spec. The HUD's differential pressure icon relaxes after the first clean cycle. Pay the fee. Enjoy the stream. Winter and heat domes both complain. For freeze risk, he includes a low drain at the system belly. Crack top vents. Open the belly. Watch it empty. Slopes are your ally here. Flat lines become ice museums. For summer, he shades the tank, insulates sun-mad runs, and chooses hose rated for heat. Vent caps get bug screens, so you don't cultivate a mosquito MBA program. HUD throws a seasonal checklist. Future you signs it. Structural sanity check. Water weighs a kilogram per liter. A 200L attic tank is 200 kilograms plus tank weight 3 adults on your ceiling forever. He spreads load across joists, not just one, and never parks it over a drywall diva. If the attic is sketchy, he stacks the tank on a landing and makes the shower in the floor below. Less head, more sleep. The HUD can't hold rafters. Lumba does. No heroics with beams, ever. Backflow, ethics. Don't contaminate the world. He adds an air gap at any fill and a backflow preventer where his system could talk to municipal lines. Garden chemical ambitions stayed downstream of the house forever. Labels matter, so does direction. The HUD shows a polite arrow through the check valve. We like showers. We also like neighbors. Plumbing is diplomacy conducted in tubes. Controls. Ball valves for on-off. Needle valves for fine trim. He keeps shutoffs at branch starts, a drain at low points, and purge T's at high points. Labels hang from each like tiny dog tags. Tank, shower, garden, drain, purge. In the dark, panic reads labels. In daylight, smugness does. The HUD's flow map mirrors the tree. You could hand this to a stranger and they'd still find off without summoning poetry. Measuring beats, guessing. He times a bucket fill at each faucet. Notes, head height, and backs into friction reality. If the shower wheezes when someone waters tomatoes, he throttles the garden branch a hair or adds a small buffer tank near the shower. That local tank raises local head and calms the drama. The HUD overlay shows peak draws. Schedule irrigation when hair is not being rinsed. Gravity respects calendars more than feelings. Noise audit. Gurgle means air. Hiss means restriction. Hammer means trapped compressible pockets. Slapping shut. He tilts runs to purge naturally, bleeds air at peaks, and replaces one hateful barb with a smooth union. Where flow speed is silly, he opens diameter. Where resonance lives, he straps the line. The HUD's vibration trace fades to flat. Quiet pipes are happy pipes. Happy pipes! Don't wake anyone! Multi-story building. Same song. More verses. He puts the main tank as high as possible, then considers satellite tanks at intermediate floors to stabilize head per level. Each satellite has a float valve fed from above. Outlets draw from the bottom. Stairwells make fine gravity shafts, if you believe in brackets. The HUD shows near constant head on each floor. Fewer complaints. Fewer shampoo confessions. Mid-refill strategy. catch rain, haul, or batch from a generator day. He installs a large leaf screen on the gutter, a first flush diverter, and a calming inlet to the tank so incoming water doesn't stir yesterday's peace. If he must bucket brigade, a funnel with a mesh keeps attic archaeology out of the blend. The HUD logs liters in, liters out. If out runs in, a smaller shower head saves the day faster than a second trip upstairs. Commissioning day! He fills the tank halfway, cracks the highest purge until water runs clean, opens the shower branch, times the bucket, tweaks valves, then soaps a brave elbow. Garden line water's a test bed. Emitters either sing or sulk. Filters get their first rinse. Clamps get a sympathy. He walks the line with dry paper towels at each joint time equals do-over. The HUD draws green arrows end to end. Gravity grins. Epilogue. Evening shower hums like a soft apology. Tomatoes drink without gossip. The tank level drops with the reliability of sunrise. Our stickman leans on the railing, the HUD powers down to a tiny head icon, and the house exhales in downhill prose. No pump, no drama, just height, diameter, angles, and the stubborn kindness of water that prefers down. If the city goes quiet, your pipes don't have to. Gravity already paid the bill.